Girlfriend wanted an open relationship with my business partner. After she took a trip with him, didn't tell me, I was supposed to propose when she got back. But now I'm taking everything from both of them. I'll try not to rant, but I might. This has been the worst 3 weeks of my life, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around how far people will go when they think you'll just sit there and take it. So here it is. My girlfriend of 5 years, the woman I was literally days away from proposing to, decided she wanted an open relationship, not in some mutual, let's explore this together way. She wanted to open the relationship so she could sleep with my business partner, the same guy I built a company with from scratch, my best friend since college. She didn't even bother dressing it up. She said she had feelings for him and wanted to see where it might lead. And the worst part, they had already taken a trip together before she even brought this up to me, behind my back. I found out from a tagged photo on Instagram. I'm not even joking. My stomach dropped when I saw it. Him and her on a boat in Tulum, laughing like a goddamn couple. She had told me she was visiting her sister that weekend. I called her the second I saw the post, and she denied it at first, said it was old, then said it was a group trip, then admitted it was just a one-time thing to test the waters. Test the waters? She full-on cannonballed into the deep end while I was ring shopping. What she didn't know is that I had been planning to propose when she got back. I had the ring. I had dinner reservations. I had written a damn speech. I kept telling myself, just hang in there. She's been stressed. She's been distant. Maybe this trip will clear her head. It cleared something, all right? Here's the part that makes me feel stupid. I almost said yes to the open relationship. I was this close to agreeing because I loved her that much. I told myself maybe it would be temporary. Maybe it would make her realize what we had. But the more I thought about it, the more it felt like a setup. She didn't want freedom. She wanted permission. She wanted me to sit there, ring in pocket, while she ran off with a man who's supposed to have my back. I couldn't believe it. I built a life with her. I built a business with him. And both of them thought I'd just roll over. So I didn't say yes. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I went cold. That was 2.5 weeks ago. Since then, I've made moves. Quiet ones, precise ones. First, I called a lawyer. A real shark. I had him go through our business's operating agreement because I remembered something my partner had insisted on when we were young and stupid. He didn't want to overcomplicate our shares. So he signed away majority ownership to me when we got funding because I brought in the investor. It was buried in the fine print. He probably doesn't even remember. Second, I went through our digital accounts, emails, shared drives, contracts. My partner has been sloppy. He's been using company resources for side gigs, personal travel, even funneling money to a new LLC I didn't know about. That LLC registered in both their names. I have receipts, screenshots, documents. Third, I moved the proposal reservation. I kept the date, but not for her. For a new investor I've been courting solo. Someone who's ready to buy out my partner's shares, clean and quiet. And when that deal closes, he's out. No fanfare, no discussion, just a termination notice and a full audit. As for her, I haven't spoken to her since she got back. She's been texting, calling, saying she's confused, saying she feels like she made a mistake, saying she misses me. No apology, just guilt and crumbs. I blocked her last night, but before I did, I sent her one final message. No anger, no insults, just a screenshot of the ring I bought and a photo of her and him in Tulum with the caption, "Thanks for making this easier." Now here's the kicker. Neither of them knows what's coming. They think I'm heartbroken. They think I'm licking my wounds. They have no idea I'm about to take everything. Not just the business, not just the money, but the illusion that they were smarter than me. You want an open relationship? You got one. Wide open. So open, you're gonna feel the wind rushing through every part of your fake little castle. I'm not writing this for advice. I'm writing it because I needed to tell someone, because if I didn't, I was going to explode. Update 1. It's been 15 days since I posted. I wasn't planning to update anything until the dust settled, but a lot's happened in a short time. And honestly, I'm still riding the high of watching both of them squirm without even realizing what's actually coming. So, here it is. Buckle up. First off, she showed up at my condo, unannounced, middle of a Tuesday. I was working from home, which I never do, and I hear this knock like the cops are outside. I looked through the peephole, and there she was, standing there with this fake little half smile like we were about to have some heart-to-heart, like she deserved that. I didn't open the door at first. I just stood there and watched her. She had her hair done like she was trying to look casual cute, but I could tell she'd been crying. Probably had one of those breakdowns after reality started sinking in. She stayed out there for 10 full minutes, knocking, pacing, calling me. I just let her talk through the door. She kept saying the same things. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. It's not what you think. I miss you. Eventually I opened the door. Just a crack. I asked her one question. Did you sleep with him before or after you asked me for an open relationship? She froze. Just completely shut down like her brain blue-screened. Didn't even try to lie. Just whispered. It was during. So that was it. I nodded, said thank you, and shut the door in her face. She stayed in the hallway crying for a while. I sat on the couch and waited for the sound of the elevator. When I heard it ding, I poured myself a whiskey. I didn't cry, I didn't shake, I felt nothing, just confirmation. Cold, satisfying confirmation. But that wasn't even the big move, that was just the prologue. Now let's talk about the business. Last week, I met with the investor I mentioned, the one I rescheduled my proposal dinner with. We'd been having casual talks before, but after everything with my partner, I decided to go full throttle. I laid everything out for the guy. The numbers, the potential, the vision for expanding without dead weight. And here's the thing, my partner is dead weight. Always has been. He's great at talking, networking, being the face, but I'm the one who built the back end, handled the clients, kept our contracts clean, and the investor saw it. By the end of the dinner, the guy looked me dead in the eyes and said, "If you can get full control, I'm in." And I smiled, because I already had it. My lawyer made sure of that. So I drafted the buyout. Quietly, had it couriered to my partner's condo 2 days ago with a bottle of champagne and a sticky note that said, "Congrats on the new chapter." I haven't heard from him directly, but mutual friends said he's been freaking out. He's called me 11 times, left 5 voicemails, which I haven't listened to. He sent one long-ass email with the subject line, "Can we talk like adults?" which I forwarded straight to my lawyer. He thought he had leverage, thought he could be sloppy, thought I wouldn't notice him using company funds to fly out with my girlfriend to another country. Yeah, I saw the flight invoices. They were right there in the shared expense folder. They didn't even try to hide it, used our American Express. And that LLC I mentioned in the last post? My lawyer found it, tied directly to the company name, meaning they were trying to spin off something using our IP. So we're hitting him with a cease and desist and a breach of fiduciary duty claim. Real scorched earth. The buyout was a courtesy. If he signs it, he walks away with a little dignity and some cash. If he fights it, we bury him in legal fees. My lawyer is a beast. I'm talking shark in a suit, zero soul kind of guy. He actually laughed when he read the LLC filing and said, "They really thought you wouldn't catch this." And now, for the petty part. Because yeah, I'll admit it, I'm being petty. But I don't even care. After 5 years of loyalty, after building a life around 2 people I thought had my back, I deserve some petty. So I posted the Tulum photo on my Instagram, the one they tried to pretend didn't exist. I captioned it, "When your girl and your business partner take a vacation and forget to block you from the tag." Then I disabled comments. Blue, upper. People lost their minds. Mutuals started DMing me. Some didn't even know we weren't together anymore. Apparently they'd been keeping it hush-hush, probably to keep up appearances. Too bad. Then I went a step further. Posted a second photo. The ring I was going to propose with. Still in the box. Simple black background. Caption, "She said she needed space, so I gave her a whole new continent." Yeah, it was dramatic. Whatever. I earned it. She saw it. I know she did. She made a new account just to DM me. I blocked her main one. She said, "This isn't fair. You're making me look like a monster." I didn't respond. Now here's where it gets messy. One of our mutual friends, who didn't know the full story, messaged me and said, "You might want to talk to her. She's saying some stuff that doesn't sound right." So I asked for screenshots, and this girl, my now ex, has been telling people I emotionally neglected her, that I was cold for months, that she felt alone and confused and didn't know how to talk to me. She said the trip with my business partner just happened because she needed clarity. Clarity, clarity. I was out here pricing venues and planning to put a ring on her finger, and she was screwing my friend on a beachfront Airbnb for clarity. So I sent one final message before blocking her second account. I said, "You were the love of my life. I was going to build everything with you, but you let your boredom ruin a good man and a solid future. So now I'm building without you, and you're gonna have to watch it all happen." Blocked. To wrap this up, for now, my ex is spiraling, trying to salvage her image. My soon-to-be ex-business partner is flailing, calling everyone but me. The buyout is about to go through. The legal documents are prepped and ready, and I've got a second investor lined up already, waiting to hop in once my partner is officially out. Update 2. Alright, strap in. This past week turned into a damn soap opera, and I'm not gonna lie, I've enjoyed every second of watching their fake little reality crash and burn. So where were we? Oh yeah, business partner was freaking out, ex-girlfriend trying to spin the story, and me sitting back with popcorn while the buyout papers marinated on his desk. I gave him 5 business days to sign and get out clean. No mess, no court, no more chances. Well, day 6 rolled around. No signature, no reply. Just more calls I didn't answer, and emails full of, "Let's have a conversation," and "You're overreacting." So, I sent him a certified notice of breach, kicked off the formal removal process through our board, which, surprise, I control majority vote on, and had our internal accountant freeze his access to company funds, locked him out of all platforms, revoked his email credentials, even had the office locks changed. He showed up at the office 2 hours later, yelling at the front desk girl, asking why his keycard wasn't working. I was in the conference room with our operations lead and a client at the time. Security walked him out. I watched through the blinds, sipping coffee. This man had the audacity to look shocked, like I was the villain in the movie he directed. "Brother, you thought you could bang my girl, embezzle company funds, and still walk in here like you were untouchable? Nah, we're not 25-year-old college bros anymore. We're grown men, with paper trails. You lose your edge when you think people won't come for what's theirs." Now let's talk about her. I thought she'd stay silent for a while after I blocked everything, but nope. 2 days ago I get a call from a number I don't recognize. I let it ring out. Voicemail comes in. I listen, just out of curiosity. It's her mom. Yup, her mom. She says she's sorry to call, but she doesn't know what's going on and that her daughter's not doing well. Says she's worried because she's not eating, she's not sleeping, and she asked her mom to just reach out and try. I didn't respond. I just sat there trying to decide whether I was mad, disgusted, or impressed that she involved her mother like I was the one who needed to apologize. 10 minutes later, I get an email from my ex. The subject line is, "Please, just read this." So I do. It's long, like novella length. She pours it all out. She admits everything, says she had been emotionally cheating for months, and tried to justify it because she felt like our relationship was routine. Says she knew the second she got to Tulum she had made a mistake, but didn't know how to undo it. Swears they only hooked up once, and it didn't mean anything, and that the trip was her lowest moment. Says she thought the open relationship talk would somehow cleanse her guilt. Like if I agreed to it after the fact, it wouldn't feel like cheating. She ends the email by telling me she still loves me, that she wants to go to therapy, that she's willing to fight for us if I am. I read it 3 times. Then I sent her back one line. "You loved the version of me that didn't hold you accountable. That guy's dead." Blocked her new email. So guess who's fighting now? She and my ex-business partner. I only know this because one of our mutuals, a guy who works adjacent to our company and has no reason to lie, texted me like, "Yo bro, this is getting wild." Apparently, she found out that my business partner was also sleeping with one of his exes during the same time as their little romance. Some girl from a few months back. So now she feels betrayed. She confronted him about it. He tried to deflect and she lost it. I'm talking screaming in public, drinks thrown, the whole Lifetime movie package. She posted a story on her private IG account, which I'm definitely not blocked on, by the way. Thank you to the friend who lets me lurk, that said, "Funny how the people you destroy everything for turn out to be the ones who never gave a shit. Ain't that poetic?" So now the 2 people who blew up my life thinking they were about to start a new chapter together are eating each other alive. Couldn't even make it a month before the cracks showed. Meanwhile, I closed the deal with the investor. He's in. Capital's transferred. Partner is officially out. And here's the cherry on top. I moved into a new place. Same city, better neighborhood, better view. Bought it with part of the equity I pulled from the deal. And the first thing I did after signing the papers, deleted every photo I ever had with either of them. Gone. Erased. Like they never existed. You want to know what hurts the most? Not the cheating. What hurts the most is realizing I spent 5 years believing I was loved for who I was. Loyal, driven, always the guy who had people's backs. And now I realize they loved what I provided, not who I was. And the second they thought they could do better, they were out. So I don't want them back. I don't want apologies. I don't want closure. What I want is for them to feel what I felt. That cold, sinking realization that the person you thought would always be there is gone, and there's no getting them back. That's what they're sitting in now, and that's what they earned. TLDR for the lazy creepers who skipped ahead. Business partner is out. Legal removal done. New investor in. Office is mine. Ex-girlfriend tried the guilt angle via email and even had her mom call me. Got shut down. Found out they're already fighting because he was cheating on her too. Bought a new place, closed that chapter, started a new one. Update 3. This is the part where the rats tried to crawl out of the hole I left them in and paint me as the villain. I swear to God, the mental gymnastics these two did to make themselves the victims should have qualified for an Olympic medal. They didn't go quiet. I figured they might lay low for a while after I froze him out of the company, shut her down cold, and basically nuked their little paradise fantasy. But nah, these two decided to go public. Let me break this down, because even I was shocked at how fast they turned on each other, and then somehow still managed to circle back and make me the target. So first, the podcast. Yeah, you read that right. There's this local lifestyle podcast some mutual acquaintance of ours runs. Super low-key, mostly local business owners and entrepreneurial couples type shit. Turns out he, my now ex-business partner, had reached out to the host a while ago to talk about navigating business and personal life with transparency. I know, vomit. Well, he goes on the show with her. Full episode. They talk about growth, painful transitions, choosing yourself. She even had the audacity to say, on a mic, recorded for streaming platforms, sometimes you meet the right person at the wrong time, and it forces you to reevaluate everything you thought you knew about love and loyalty. They never said my name directly, but they didn't need to. Everyone who knew the situation, friends, co-workers, clients, knew exactly who they were talking about. My phone blew up the day it dropped. Texts, screenshots, even a few passive-aggressive, hope you're doing okay messages from people who used to be in our circle, but clearly love the gossip more than any loyalty. At first I was pissed, then I laughed. Because that podcast episode, it was desperate. Two clowns trying to spin betrayal into a TED Talk. So I responded, not with my words, but with facts. I sent one email. That's it. Just one. I crafted it carefully. No emotion, no attacks. Just a clean, brutal statement of truth. I emailed the podcast host directly. Subject line, for your awareness. Statement and evidence attached. Inside, I included screenshots of the Tulum flight booked on our company card, a copy of the company funds misuse report from our accountant, a redacted version of the breach of fiduciary duty notice I served him, a signed affidavit from our former admin assistant, confirming she overheard conversations between them about keeping me in the dark while they built their side project, a single closing sentence, free to use or ignore. But if transparency matters to your platform, I figured you'd want the whole story. Didn't have to threaten. Didn't have to beg. Just gave him the receipts and let them speak for themselves. Podcast episode pulled within 48 hours. No explanation given. Just gone. So then they tried to play victim harder. She posted some cryptic shit on her story again. Something like, "It's sad when people weaponize private pain just to protect their ego." And he posted a black and white selfie with a caption that read, "The truth always comes out, even if some people try to control the narrative." Oh, you mean the narrative where you banged my girlfriend on a business trip and tried to steal my company? That narrative? The ego on these two. Here's where it goes full circus. A mutual friend invites me to a party, chill backyard birthday thing, says, they're not invited, swears it'll be a good crowd. I show up solo, clean cut, confident, no baggage. People were already buzzing. I could feel the shift. There's this look people give you when they know you've been through hell but came out sharper, like they don't know whether to pity you or respect the hell out of you. So I'm just minding my business, sipping a drink, talking with some folks when someone pulls me aside and goes, "Hey, just so you know, they showed up." I swear I could have predicted it. They must have heard I'd be there and thought it'd be a good time to control more of that narrative. Maybe thought if they were all smiles and calm energy, people would start forgetting the details. Well, people didn't forget. In fact, they were waiting, because apparently in their little tour of playing the victim, they'd been telling different versions of the story, depending on who they were talking to. She told one group I cheated first. He told another that I was stealing money from the business, and he was pushed out unfairly. Guess what? Both groups were at the same party. So what happened? They got cornered. Someone literally called them out mid-conversation. I wasn't even nearby. I was across the yard when I heard the tone shift, voices raising, people asking, "Wait, that's not what you said last week. And didn't you say he agreed to the open relationship?" Then someone came over and said, "You should come listen to this." I didn't. I let it implode on its own. Let them do what they do best. Lie badly and make it worse. They left 20 minutes later. Wordless, embarrassed, exposed. Let's talk about the business fallout. After I took full control, I sent out a clean statement to our clients and partners. No drama, just facts. As of date, ex-partner's name is no longer affiliated with our company. We wish him the best in his future endeavors. Our commitment to excellence and integrity remains unchanged. Most people didn't respond. Some replied with one-line congratulations. A few sent very telling messages like, "That explains a lot." Turns out he'd been dropping the ball on contracts, missing deadlines, trying to poach clients for his little secret side hustle. One of our biggest clients admitted they were this close to walking away until I stepped in and cleaned it all up. Now we're thriving. Brought in 2 new hires, streamlined everything. Investors are happy, clients are staying, reputation intact. His little startup with her doesn't even have a website anymore. So where does this leave them now? Last I heard, he's couch surfing. She moved back in with her parents. They're not even together anymore, but they're still trying to co-run some bootleg consulting thing on LinkedIn, acting like nothing happened. She deleted every photo of them off her page. He locked down all his socials. And me? I'm finally breathing again. I wake up in the morning without checking my phone for lies. I go to the gym. I sleep better. I've started talking to someone new. Nothing serious yet, but she listens. She asks real questions. She's calm, no drama, the kind of person who knows who they are. And I'll be honest, sometimes I wonder how I didn't see it all sooner. How I let 2 snakes coil that close to my throat for so long without realizing they were squeezing. But I don't regret it. Not anymore. Because now, I've built something better without them, and they have to live with the fact that they traded loyalty, stability, and a real future for a temporary thrill and a public downfall. Update 4. Alright, this is the last one. I wasn't even planning to write a final update. I figured the story was pretty much wrapped, the trash took itself out, and life was moving on. But I underestimated just how far desperation will take someone who thought they'd never lose you. She came back. Not in the texting late at night kind of way, not just another long guilt-trippy email. I'm talking full-blown, in-person, unannounced, no shame left in the tank. It started with a message from her friend. A mutual, former mutual, reached out and said, "Just FYI, she's been talking about trying to come see you, says she still loves you, says she regrets everything." I said, "Cool, thanks for the heads up," and figured she'd probably send another email I could ignore. Nope. The next night, I get home from the gym, sweating, headphones in, walk into the building, and boom, she's sitting in the lobby. Didn't even flinch when I saw her, just paused, took my AirPods out, and said, "What are you doing here?" She stands up, looking like she'd been rehearsing some long speech, but couldn't remember the lines anymore. Voice all shaky, mascara smudged like she wanted me to see she was crying, like that'd do something now. She goes, "I just need 5 minutes." I looked at her and said, "You had 5 years." Walked straight past her to the elevator. She followed me. Whole ride up she's talking fast, Like if she said it all before we hit my floor, I might suddenly forgive her. I made a mistake. He meant nothing to me. I lost myself. You were the best thing in my life and I was too stupid to see it. And you know what? I believe her. I believe every word. But that doesn't mean I care. I let her come in. I wanted her to see how fine I am without her. Clean apartment, new furniture, business awards on the shelf, a photo of me with my new team on the fridge, a whole life she's no longer part of, not even a trace of her anywhere. She sat on the couch and looked around like it physically hurt, like she couldn't believe how easily I erased her. She asked if I was seeing someone. I told her yeah. Nothing official, but someone good, grounded, no drama, no lies. She went silent. Then she said something that actually made me pause. She said, "You look like someone who got everything they wanted, and I look like someone who lost everything for nothing." And for the first time since this whole mess started, I saw it. The regret. The real, ugly, heavy kind. Not performative, not manipulative, just raw regret. She asked if we could try again. Said she's going to therapy. Said she wakes up every day with this pit in her stomach that she ruined the only real thing she had. Said I always saw her in a way no one else ever did. And maybe that's true. Maybe I did. But I also saw her clearly now, for who she really is. And there's no unseeing that. I told her the truth. I said, I loved you. I had your back when no one else did. I would have married you, gave you a life people only dream about, and you spit on it. You wanted chaos. You got it. I didn't change. You just couldn't handle someone who actually treated you well without conditions. And she cried, but I didn't, because I already grieved her. I grieved the version of her that existed in my head, the one I was building a future with. But the real her? She buried that when she boarded that plane to Tulum. She stayed for maybe 10 more minutes, then left, didn't ask for a hug, didn't try to kiss me, just stood up, looked around one more time and said, I don't expect forgiveness, but I hope one day you remember me as more than the worst thing I ever did. And I didn't say anything back, not because I was trying to be cold, but because I genuinely had nothing left to say. That chapter is done, so where am I now? I'm good, better than I thought I'd ever be after all that. I've got peace, a growing business, a new circle of people who actually respect loyalty and keep their word. I'm not perfect, but I'm honest. I show up, and now I finally show up for myself. I don't trust people the way I used to. That's just the cost of betrayal, but I've learned how to trust my gut, and that's something I should have done a long time ago. And if you're reading this and you've been played, betrayed, blindsided by the people closest to you, here's what I'll say. You don't have to scream. You don't have to fight. Sometimes, the coldest thing you can do is live well without them. Let them feel the silence. Let them drown in the space where your love used to be. Because when someone trades something real for something cheap, they always circle back. And by the time they do, you'll be too far gone to even care. Thanks to everyone who followed this whole thing. I'm logging off now. I will log back on to reply comments.